Hello and welcome everybody. I am Kevin van der Kooi, also known as Rotterdam, and I'm here live from the studios in Cologne, the ESL studios that is, and it is time for the second day of the WCS Austin European Open Qualifiers. Yesterday we had the first Open Qualifier and it was awesome. We had a lot of great games. You can see on my left or right, depends whatever way you want to look at it, what's happening today. It's a single elimination tournament. We've got over 145 players signed up, and these guys will be duking it out. Each match is going to be best of 3. Once again, it is single elim, so it's everything or nothing for everybody that comes in action today. And of course, the goal for all of these amazing players is to make top 4. You secure yourself at least $400, and you have that chance to still make it to Austin to get an all-paid trip, all expenses covered by Blizzard, and, well, shine on the biggest stage. I'm not alone today, guys. I am joined by my amazing, dear, tattooed up friend, Johan Little Mello. Johan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I didn't get a tag on Twitter, but at least I get a little bit of an intro here. Thank you.
I tagged you earlier, Todd.
Sure.
One tag a day. Come on. Do you think this promotion is free? You know
apparently not.
You know the PayPal, right?
Yeah, looking forward to today's games. Yesterday I had the chance to watch a few of them earlier in the show. You were struggling a little bit with that solo cast, but it picked up later. You ended up with a ready thread, so you're welcome. I mean, that was only because I wasn't there to drag you down, wasn't it?
It was fun, Todd. I have to say I missed you, because, I mean, it's been a long time since I've casted by myself. I totally felt this was a throwback to 2010, 2011, when I was doing all the shows by myself. But it was fun, man. We really had a couple of good games, some fun storylines as well, especially towards the end. I mean, Lambo and DNS, 2 players that were so close to making top 8, because I still get a couple of tweets here and there. People are like, hey, where's Showtime? Where's Nerd Show? What about TLO? It's like, guys, you'll see them in action. Friday and Saturday is going to be fantastic when actual challenger happens, WCS EU challenger that is. 8 players already qualified through the ladder. You know the 8 from the top of your head?
I know a couple, but you're much better at this than I, so don't put me on the spot already in the first 10 minutes of the show, Kev,
so the 8 guys that already made it through the ladder qualifier were Showtime Harstem for Protoss. We had U-Thermal, the Dutchies going strong as the only Terran, and then we had 5 Zergs, and obviously these were the Zergs that you expect. Nurcho, Snoot, Elaser, Nemchar as well, which I think is kind of to be expected by now, because Nemchar is so solid in the European scene, and of course TLO as well. So those 8 guys, they already made it. Yesterday, the Frenchies were going strong, Todd. We had Drogo advance, we had DNS advance, Serral, of course. I mean, that's not a shocker, right? Like,
yeah, Serral making it makes perfect sense. He actually was kind of supposed to make it from the top 8, but I think he couldn't play the games that he needed to every day, so because of that, wasn't able to. Yeah, so far it feels like most of the favorites that are in this have made it, but we still got a couple guys here to qualify today. Some that lost in the last few rounds yesterday, I think, are going to be very eager to try and make it today. For example, Mana.
Yeah, Mana lost against Bly. That's the last Zerg that qualified yesterday. Todd already said it. Let's take a look at this bracket. We've got an extra round today. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of buys in the first round, because we actually had over 128 players sign up for today's Cup, which is something that we didn't expect. Todd, let's just take it from the top. We have a couple minutes, so we don't have to rush through it. Hero Marine, you think he's going to make it today?
If I look at his bracket so far, it looks pretty good for him to have a very good chance to make it.
Starbuck is dangerous, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I always think that Minato is still very strong, a little underrated.
But that's because he kills you on the ladder all the time.
He
doesn't mean that Hero Marine is going to be threatened, man. Come on.
Hey, Hero Marine dropped the map against me at home, sir.
Everybody did.
I never take a map of Minato. The Fighting Frog, I believe he's one of the very few random players. At least he plays random on the ladder, and he's
not French.
No, he's actually pretty good. Beastie, I think, is one of the guys that we really have to look out for. Yeah. Yogo, the best playing caster, perhaps.
Apparently, according to MMR, right?
Yeah.
But MMR doesn't always mean everything. You learned that the hard way when you met me on ladder recently, Kev, didn't you?
We have Shadon, a very strong French Protoss. Mamba, also a very decent Zerg from Switzerland. He's got a good shot. SouLeer is a pretty decent Zerg from Spain, above 6k MMR. We've got Denver there as well. I believe he didn't play yesterday. Space Marine, Phalanger, Matisse, a lot of familiar names here, Todd. I mean, if you follow the European ladder actively, like almost all these guys are like, yep, I know him. Soul.
It's the opposite of the NA ladder. When I saw the NA bracket, I was like, don't know. I know this one or this one, but that's it. And actually, I discovered quite a few good players when we casted the North American qualifier with Galleyes.
Yeah, it was
Coca?
fun, right?
Is Coca playing?
Yep.
He has a pretty decent MMR.
Yeah.
Like 5K4 like a while back. He hasn't played for some
But
time.
he doesn't have a decent bracket, Todd. Casper and then Guru, that's not going to be easy at all.
Let's go, Cam, man. Come on.
Archangel Majestic, he actually was inactive for a while, the Spanish Protoss, but he's coming back. I got a tweet today from Fear. He said, Roddy, your prediction is wrong because I'm back again. I'm back at it. And Fear is pretty good. So let's see if he can go far. Got Tarantius, pretty old school name there.
Yeah, I feel like Tarantius is always somehow in these qualifiers. Night End. Like seriously, Lighten, he's almost like a symbol in these tournaments. He's always there as like some sort of mascot.
He's the gatekeeper, I feel. Like if you want to qualify, you definitely have to beat Nighthead, otherwise.
If you can't beat him, you don't deserve to qualify.
We have RMX going up against
Nafi
Dimaga.
is there.
I don't know.
It's quite
Nafi.
decent.
Okay.
Hate me. I saw you casted him yesterday in ZvT.
Yeah, he
I
was
felt like you were losing your soul slowly by casting that. Against Memory Freak, right? Or was it
Bly.
another?
He played Bly. Control is a Russian Terran player who's pretty good. Daishi. He's a little unhappy with the current state of Terran. He's like,
he's
guys,
not happy with a lot of things. You should see his tweets about the elections.
He's like, guys, it's not the Terrans underpowered. It's just way too hard. It's not fair, okay?
It's okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Maybe Zoki against Sordov. Hino got very far yesterday. He lost against Drogo in the last round.
Cass, again, like still there too. Indy, pretty good player from Poland.
Actually, Ice-T sent me a tweet and he said like, hey, I just want to let you know that you have permission to cast my games. A lot of people want to watch them. He goes up against Indy in the first round, so it wouldn't be a bad pick. Stefano, do you believe today, Todd? Elias, does he still have it?
I still have PTSD from Nation War, so it's going to be hard to believe. But maybe if he shows some good things, who knows?
We've got Krr from Lithuania.
It's very hard to say. Krr. What is that?
Because he used to have way more R's behind it, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think it used to be like 7
Braddock
R's.
is still there.
Braddock streams these days.
Let's make something very clear here. Nobody ever quit StarCraft, all right? Like, I don't care how long you're going inactive.
Half this bracket has been inactive or retired at least twice.
Yeah. And yet they're still in the top 1% of players. Go figure.
Did we not get the memo? Is this a 30+ cup or something? Zenster, Lambo got so close yesterday.
Yeah.
I think
Did you see Naoto's reaction to Lambo losing?
I heard something about 9, but
yeah.
I tried to load the video on my phone, but my internet was too bad. It feels bad. We've got Paranoid, very old school name there as well.
Revolver.
Optimus, one of perhaps the guys to finally make it today. It's not going to be easy for him, but looking at this bracket, he's got a decent bracket at first. We've got a couple of
Strange.
Yeah, strong
actually.
Russian Protoss here, Kulti as well.
Yeah, Strange is very good.
Lila Cannon had a good run yesterday. He defeated 2 strong Zerg.
Hey, Roti.
What happened? Roti?
Spanish Roti.
We've got an imposter over here.
We've got the real Roti playing in the tournament.
Well, I wish fake Roti good luck against Memory Freak, aka Friend over here in the second round. It's going to be a tough one.
And Mana has C2.
Yeah, all the way at the
Pretty
bottom.
good bracket for him. Like,
yeah.
how many matches does he need to win? Like, who could he play from there?
Basically here, this is probably Memory Freak. And then I think this is the last round. So then it could be maybe a Lila Cannon or a Strange.
You know, I like making predictions like this and theorizing matchups, but at the same time, I feel like it's really bad manner for the players that like we're counting out. Like, I was very conflicted about doing this before.
Looking at this, is Optimus? No, okay. So maybe Strange against Mana for a spot. I mean, then we were going way ahead of the situation here, guys, but we're just theory crafting.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Cannon's going to get eliminated. Roddy 2070.
That's the bracket. As you guys can see, there's plenty of great players. I actually already missed in the lobby invite, so I'm just going to tell my admin, go, that we are ready for our first game of the day. Hopefully you guys are excited. You guys know which hashtag to use, right, Todd? It's always hashtag WCS. A while ago, Miley Cyrus used it for some world tour, and we told her, it's like, Miley, you got to know your place in life, darling. I mean, you're pretty good and all. And I know that, what was that song again, where she just wants to party or something. And that's all right. You can party with hashtag WCS. That's ours. And she stopped using it.
Really?
Yeah, I guess the tour was over. But I like to think that you guys and me, that we got something to do with it.
That day you got blocked by somebody really famous on Twitter.
Are you on your main account, Todd? You might want to send a whisper to Sinistro, just in case something goes wrong. We're going to cast SouLeer here.
I don't have you in friendlies. What is this?
I guess you had my different account.
How many accounts you got? I see you there. Wait.
Should I suggest you to the lobby?
I added you.
Cool. I have to think about this. Johan Merlo. What do you guys? All right.
This is how you wanna start the broadcast. All right. I see how it is.
I've got a story about this guy, Todd, called SouLeer. He's a 16-year-old Zerg. I am not sure. I think he's from Spain. I'm just gonna confirm this real fast.
You're not on screen, so you got some time. Yeah, he's from Spain.
He's going up against Hadas, who's from Ukraine, actually.
Well, usually when you tell this story, you say he came to say hi to me and said he 5-0'd me on ladder.
It's similar.
Yeah?
It's a little similar. So just the other day, so I'm going to make sure. Go. Both players are ready. Confirm, please. As I believe they're good to go. Yep, I know. And they said go. So we are ready to get our first series of the day on the way. Zerg versus Terran. But SouLeer, Todd, back to SouLeer. So I'm playing my games, right? And I play against SouLeer, Grandmaster League Zerg. I see it in lone screen. We play on Belshire. I was like, well, Belshire, my walls on Belshire are pretty bad. I got Baneling busted. I was like, well, okay, you know, if that's how you want to win, I GG out. And he's like, hey, man, I just want to let you know that I'm a big fan. I was like, the timing on this is immaculate, you know.
Like after the game finished?
Yeah, like a whisper, you know, right after he got the points. And I was like, well, thank you, you know. I was in a good mood, so it didn't bother me. He's like, you know, my dream would truly be for you to follow me on Twitter. I was like, man, this guy's got some balls. Like, first he Baneling bossed me, and now he's asking me to follow him on Twitter. I was like, well, I think, you know what, I'm in a really good mood today. I'm going to go at it. So I go to his Twitter profile. Guess what?
He posted a screenshot of winning you?
He doesn't even follow me. It's his dream that I follow him. And I was like, what's that all about? He's like, yeah, but that's the key, Roddy. I want you to follow me without me following you. And I was like,
oh my God.
Like,
he's like a young me.
Yes. I was like, all right, let's get into the game, guys. First game of the day, round of 128. Looking at the main base of our Ukrainian Terran over here, spawning on the right bottom side. Represents Cascade. It's Hadas. I don't know anything about him, Todd. I am completely unfamiliar with this young man.
Well, I know enough. He plays Terran. And his opponent, playing as the Blue Zerg from Spain, it is SouLeer. Oh, a very confident young man.
Yeah, made one hell of an impression. But you know, the funny thing about stuff like that is that it will always give me a story to tell, you know?
Yeah.
I will never forget this guy. Like
so
that.
you followed him?
Yeah. I was
and he never followed you back?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. At least.
He just wanted to have the email. It's like,
I'm gonna tell him that he shouldn't follow you. You still follow him.
Well, I might unfollow him if you lose the round of 128 over here. I only follow top 64 and above, SouLeer. It's cool though. It's really fun to see some more Spanish players, Todd. Like we used to have, of course, Lucifron and Vortex, you know, the two big dogs. But after that, it's been a little quiet coming out of the Spanish scene. And I'm happy to see a few more Grandmaster League players pop up, like Alastor, and obviously you have Majestic still around.
Yeah, there was a lot of hype around Majestic, then it kind of fell off for a little bit, and then now we haven't heard as much. Like, obviously, it's some very difficult shoes to fill, right, for anybody. When you have someone like Lucifron and Vortex retiring, and with how good they were across multiple games as well. Like, these guys were just beasts at everything they played. Kind of like a Blizzard game specialist there.
No, I agree. I think Lucifron and Vortex are two very special individuals. Being good at Warcraft, being good at StarCraft, and then also being good at Heroes of the Storm is like, all right, you are the definition of a pro gamer. Because a lot of people are pro gamers, but they're just good in one game. Those guys, they get good at everything they do. Openings are very standard so far, Johan. First Reaper is going to make his way across the map.
Yeah. You saw that drone that sneaked past in the middle of the map? He's going to go for the third base. He just went around the Reaper that was headed for his base. I like that by SouLeer.
He ends up losing, almost ends up losing a drone, but he didn't.
Boom, third base started. He's going to get spotted, I think, pretty quickly by Hades. Is it Hades or Hades?
I have never seen him before, so I am not sure.
Is there any native English speaker
to
rescue us?
But he's Ukrainian, Todd, so we're just going to pronounce it very badass. Hades.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Hades. I'm here to take your letter points. I don't mess with you, brother. Take him. Take him all. Cyclone rush me, mind drop me. I won't say a word.
I wonder how, like, if these guys ever watch the broadcast, what they think about these comments. Yeah, like, this is really not what I sound like. Kind of like when you do an impression of me, actually. I really don't sound like it at all.
I did one yesterday. Did you see it?
The massacre?
Yeah. And also about your tattoo.
Oh, really?
People were wondering, like, where's Todd? I was like, Todd looked at his arm. He's like, oh no, I have an empty spot on my arm. I have to cover these up immediately. The Reaper got picked up in the middle of the map. Sorry, guys. I was taking a look at the main base of our Ukrainian Terrorists. Following it up with Cloak Banshees, though. They're becoming a little more popular again in this matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, if you don't see them coming and you don't have a spore ready, you can still take a lot of damage. I wonder if SouLeer is going to be ready. Considering how good he is and seeing that he's Grandmaster, I don't expect him to get surprised by this, especially like he has an Overlord in a not so bad position. Like there is a chance he barely misses. Actually, ooh. Okay, well, he should have seen it.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that's 3, 4, 5 seconds.
But he's not starting a spore.
He's actually just making lings and baits.
Ring the alarm, Kev.
Is he just going to try to do something on the other side of the map?
Red alert.
Or he's banking on the fact that this guy is not going for Cloak Banshees. He's like, yeah, you've got Banshees, but I've got Queens. Or he didn't see it.
He didn't see it, like, for sure. Like, I mean, you get a spore against this, I don't care. Like, especially in his main, like, you don't have to rush it on a natural, but get it in the main at least. Now that Banshee's going to have cloaking in a couple seconds, and a lot of drones are going to die there.
Oh, good move there. He saves one of the drones, morphing it into his spore just in time. But this is still quite a bit of damage. This is absolutely what you're hoping for if you open up with Cloak Banshees. The spore is not being done in time. Plenty of Queens, but no detection. Wow, 7 kills with the first Banshee. What is this, Todd? Wings of Liberty? Haven't seen this in a while.
I love how the Queens grouped up to try and like scare the Banshee away. That was like the sickest bluff, like better than you on a tilt at the casino, man.
Look at Hades is actually throwing down 2 additional factories as he's still found another drone on the other side of the map. He's just gonna mech it up here for a little bit, so it seems.
Yeah, with a fairly quick +1 from the armory as well. Could be going into a longer game, and with the damage he did there, like I like his position so far in this game, having the third base being morphed into an orbital right now. And also like Zerg opened Bailing Nest, right? I feel like he has 0 clue. There was no attempt to scout whatsoever from Hades. From SouLeer, sorry.
Yeah, kind of weird. He has all the Overlords in sweet spots, but he hasn't really seen anything at all.
Yeah, an Overseer is almost like a must. Okay, he's gonna morph one now across the map to try and go for the scouts.
But if your opponent opens up with 4 to 6 Hellions and he doesn't, you know, throw them away, he's not that aggressive with them, does that ring the alarm bells for you already? It's like, this is not normal, you know?
Yeah, it might be why he went for the Overseer, I think, because he was losing a couple links at the front. And now SouLeer is going to realize what's happening. We'll see his reaction here in a second. If he throws down the Ro128, that would be... Okay, yeah, he's already going for the Ro128.
Maybe an Infestation Pit would be an awesome response. We saw it yesterday a couple of times. Locust can be fantastic. These spawning positions, if you just want to deal with this, with Roaches, Lings, and Banes, you're going to have a tough time, man, against mech. It's really not that far from... you know, your third base towards your opponent third base. Before you know it, you start being able to siege over here on this high ground, perhaps, on this ledge, and that's a nightmare scenario for Roaches to run up to. But so far, we don't see an Infestation Pit.
Hades is making Thors, by the way. Like, I'm starting to think he might want to go for a push there with a couple Thors, Hellbats, and then some tanks in support, and that one Banshee that he kept alive very nicely.
Do you remember, Todd, years ago, there was a guy on the European ladder called Tor Rush, and he Tor Rushed everybody. He was actually really good.
It's like the sickest mind game. Or like you see it. To be honest, some Protosses, they are like that. Like they cannon rush every game. Like their nickname is not cannon rush, but you know they're gonna do it. It's like you meet Widamins on ladder. Like you don't really expect him to take a second base, right?
I'm sure you do after he has 7 cannons in him.
Cannon Rush still pretty strong, by the way. Like on some maps and stuff, I've lost quite a bit.
It's so funny, because Cannon Rush has been nerfed pretty dramatically over the years, like multiple times. The biggest nerf was obviously that you can't warp in high ground anymore if you have a low ground pylon. I really thought Cannon Rush was going to die out after that, but damn, these guys are so creative with their Cannon Rushes. They just keep getting better and better at it. Pretty quick hive, Todd, and we do have an Infestation Pit, but I don't really see any upgrades on the way. That gives me the idea that he actually wants to make Swarmos. So what does he want to do? He wants to rush up to Brood Lords, perhaps, but Vipers are actually... Yeah, that makes also sense. But he doesn't have Hydras. Like, Viper Roach, is that a thing? Okay, there we go, Swarmos.
Yeah. I've seen very few Zergs use Vipers extremely well against mech nowadays. Like, it feels like they... When I saw it, they didn't really get the right number and stuff. Like, a lot of Zergs seem kind of lost against, like, this new generation mech that we're seeing With,
Nurcho was really good with it at BlizzCon, you remember? The game against TY.
Well, I mean, Nurcho is always very good, right? I mean, like almost every other Zerg that I've seen other than that.
That game against TY on New Gettysburg. For all of you guys out there haven't watched StarCraft in a while, you missed the latest BlizzCon, take a look at Nurcho versus TY New Gettysburg. That was an awesome game. A couple of Hellions gonna sneak in from the north side, and they're gonna find a few more drones. You know, throughout the entirety of this game, 29 drones have gone down. Hades is absolutely making this a competitive match. He wasn't GM, but there is a good chance that maybe he dropped out. I didn't see his MMR. But so far, Todd, I have the feeling that we're looking at least at a 6,000 MMR Terran because he's playing very solid. There's nothing wrong with everything he's been doing so far.
I think you forgot what I talked about last time on your stream.
No, I don't know.
Remember that thing when you play against a Terran and like you have a super sick hard game and then you have to put everything you got into it and then you finally win and then you check his profile? 5k 1 MMR. It could be one of these.
You get +7 and you're like, oh my god. I felt like I just played against Beyond Smurf in Europe. Like I swear this felt like Beyond, guys. Roach is just running around. These farmers should be able to do a little bit of damage, but there are a lot of turrets in the mix, and most of these locusts just kind of disappear. Todd, I mean, SouLeer has got the supply.
He's gonna be in danger. Oh, he's definitely got the supply, but
he didn't pop everything at once.
Yeah, I don't know why. That must have been a mistake. And right now he's gonna have to wait for a long time for a new wave of locusts. He needs everything together. Gonna morph a couple of Ravagers, but this army of Terran is pressing forward. And he's got +2 here, weapons.
Yep, and during all of this, the Terran is actually getting a 4th base. If Terran can just kill this hatch, I think that's good enough. And then maybe you can get a hatch on the north side as well. And if you can throw the Zerg back to having only 3 bases, you need to go for it. The longer he waits, the more locusts he's going to have to fight. And hashtag 3 units, pretty damn good against siege tanks and mech.
There's so many tanks close together though. They're gonna do a ton of damage here against this army. The Swarmos block themselves here in the middle of the roaches and some of those are gonna fall. Bai's gonna land on a couple of these tanks. And actually the hatchery is saved for now.
Good use of those Ravages for sure. A couple of very clutch Crossipals there. Supply is still in favor of our Spanish Zerg, but you shouldn't forget there's a lot on the way.
Yeah, there was a Liberator up there that killed quite a few drones on that one base. Now SouLeer moved the Spore eventually, but he's kept on losing drones this entire game. Even if he defends this base there, it's going to be 56 drones to 63 SCVs.
Yeah, you don't want to be down in economy against the meching Terran. That's a nightmare scenario, and this time Hades is truly going for it. We have a little bit of a Ling run by as well on the other side of the map as this hatchery went down, Todd.
He's engaging with his army right now for some reason.
Wow, SouLeer just, he feels he lost too much. The economy is not there anymore for him to bounce back. And the Ukrainian Terran, Hades, takes game number 1 against the Spanish Zerg that has over 6k MMR. Let's take a look at the profile of Hades, Todd.
Yeah, make a guess first.
My guess is at least 5'8".
Really?
Yeah.
I say less, 5'5".
He played solid, man. No, I think he has, what is it? 5'5".
Can we show it?
Wow. But he only played 8 games on this account, and he's 7-1. So there is a chance.
5,571. What's up now?
Maybe he has MMR DK, and he's actually a lot higher. Like a while ago, I kept playing against Minato.
You can just keep finding excuses. Maybe I'm right as well.
No, but it's really frustrating sometimes when you play against somebody, you're like, this guy's really good. Like I played against Minato a few times, and he was at 5.7, and I was like, this doesn't make sense, you know? Like, I know 5.7k MMR Zergs, and Minato is just destroying me. Like, he's doing terrible things to me. And then a week later, he's actually at like 6.3, and it's like, okay, that makes sense. I'm glad that he climbed up my back, you know, all the way up to the ladder.
I asked him what's his best MMR, and he said 5.35.
He's lying!
Oh, yeah, he's even higher than this on his account. Oh, you mean 6,000?
Hey. Okay.
It's like you have 5k5 right now, almost 5k6.
Yeah.
Like, why would you say that?
No, so he's actually 6,300, 6,400, and yeah, that makes sense, right? He played good that game. Yeah. Executing a mech build is not easy at all, especially not against a decently ranked Zerg from the European scene.
But it kind of felt like SouLeer didn't know he was coming, right? Like for the longest time, like he was going Banelings, double Evo and stuff. Like you play very differently if you spot Baneling or if you know that it's coming. You can definitely adjust your style. So this should make for an interesting game number 2, because usually Terrans that mech, they don't do it for a single game or like one map. It's very rare that it happens. Terrans that mech do it every game, for the most part.
Beastie is one of the exceptions to that rule, I think.
Yeah.
He's a middle down the road, but I do agree with you. You're either a meching Terran or you're a bio Terran. And sometimes Terrans do go through phases, you know, it's like an identity crisis. Am I a bio Terran or am I a mech Terran? And there's like, God, I just don't know what I am right now.
We have the same as Protoss. Am I an all-in Protoss or am I a macro Protoss? Well, I lose with both, so I don't know.
We are ready. I agree, though, Todd. We are ready for game number 2. It's going to be played on Abyssal Reef. I think the most popular map currently in the current map pool. It seems everybody loves it. Spawning on the left top side. Ukrainian Terran. It's Hades. I mean, it would make sense as well, right? He's playing for Cascade. There's very little reason why Cascade would recruit a 5.5k Terran.
He's Cass's little cousin. And his opponent, playing as the Blue Zerg, he's one map loss away from being unfollowed by Roddy on Twitter.
Oh.
It is SouLeer from Spain.
No, I won't do that. I won't do that. He seems like a pretty
That would be
good
the
kid.
sickest thing.
He's only 16 years old, Todd. Like,
so?
Can't kick a boy when he's down. I'll wait until he gets eliminated on the big stage.
Jesus.
Yeah, he has to be at least 18 before he can recover from such an emotional experiment.
Yeah, these guys practice a lot, actually. When you go into this kind of tournament, even as one of the lesser-known names, you aim for the qualification for sure. If you've got this high MMR, if you've played this many games, if you're a Grandmaster, you know that you can beat some of the top names.
All you need is your best day. That's really true for a lot of these guys. You know, if you're above 6k MMR, the dream is very much so alive. You may not be a favorite, and when you get eliminated, nobody's going to be surprised. But for these guys, this is a very big moment because they could very well go on the run of a lifetime. This could be a breakthrough performance. Do you remember, like a little bit over a year and a half ago, way before, actually it's almost 2 years ago, time flies, Uthermal had a fantastic performance once in an IEM qualifier. I think it was still Heart of the Swarm.
Oh yeah, where he beat Koreans and stuff.
Yeah, also, but he also had a European qualifier where I think he beat the 3 best Europeans at the time. He beat Lilwao, he beat Bunny, and then he beat a very good Zerg as well, maybe Nerd Show, and I was just like, oh my god, Uthermal was so good. So you can really make a good name for yourself, and obviously a year later, he ends up winning an Into Extreme Masters.
Sometimes it all comes together, it kind of feels randomly. I don't believe it's random, but it's like, through perseverance, you know, you're like, I would say like a sub-top, say, European, and then just through time and you keep on trying and trying, eventually you have this like breakthrough performance that's, before that you're doing really well on the ladder. Usually that's what it leads to, and it's very hard to attribute, you know, exactly what it's due to. I guess just hard work and finally understanding like the things you need to do better.
Yeah, it's one of these things, right? Like you say, it all comes together, because at first you start getting really good, so your execution and the micro is there, but then sometimes certain parts of the games, they still feel a little bit random, and then at a certain point you're suddenly able to connect the dots all the time. You know, if I see this, that means that I have to worry about this, and they just kind of figure it out, and it all clicks, and suddenly they take the game to the next level.
How about you, man? You feeling confident these days?
I really do feel like I've been making some progress. Even if I've been losing a lot, I feel like I'm learning a lot more, and I'm understanding, you know, the economics of the game. I'm reading the opponents a little bit better. And
Caster tournament, are you going to do some damage?
I sure hope so, Todd. If I ever have a chance of winning some prize money again in a video game, this is the chance. There's going to be no excuses.
How do you do against Zerg? Because it's mostly Zergs, I think.
Not bad.
Hit casters.
Not bad. Hydra Bane all-in. Hydra Bane all-in. What are these SCVs doing, Todd? This is...
Yeah, it's weird. Like, it feels like they were misrally. Like, these links have kind of forced that somehow right now. Hades is just the one Hellion and Marine that's going to be targeted. The Reaper comes back here to defend against this. And he's going to be fine, but losing 2 SCVs to just a couple Zerglings across the map, a little bit strange.
Yeah, and the silliest thing is that he lost them for absolutely no reason. It wasn't even in the mineral line.
He spots the 3rd command center pretty quickly, though. I hate that. When I spot a command center and it just finished, I'm like, all right, well, I guess it's too late to do something about it. So I can just play greedy, but then the Terran harassment will kill a lot of my walkers.
Look at this time, Todd. This time the spores are way on time. He's not going to make this... Oh, is it a fake? Is there even a Banshee out? It's a fake! That's funny. Poor SouLeer. This time he does scout it.
Yeah, he's going to see the Viking come out, though. So he should get suspicious that there's not going to be a Banshee.
But the spores are already done then, so...
Yeah.
That's -3 drones. I mean, he just basically killed 3 drones with that fake out, which is pretty damn good.
And actually, it's a bit weird that... I think SouLeer might go all in, because he went Baning Nest against a Terran that, again, is going mech. Like, I mean, there is an armory in the back of his main base. I assume it's going to be mech again here from Hades. We talked a little bit about this. So the Baneling nest and the amount of Zerglings that's being made really makes me think he's going to want to go all in. You see on the left-hand side, he's massing Zerglings.
Or, as No Regret would call it, designated pressure. But it's going to be harder. That's a lot of Hellions that you're going to have to surround. He's going to try it, but a Ukrainian Terran is paying attention. And he's getting a couple of very good shots off. And these Lingstall, they won't get much done at all.
And it's a massive tell also that he wants to go for this. The fact that there is so many Lings there right now. So now with the lair about to finish, SouLeer is going to have a chance to try for something else. And Nidus wouldn't be that good, I think, because he's mostly on Lings. Unless he had like a ton of Queens and he had been massing them up until now.
No, he's droning up behind this, but these Lings, they just didn't get anything done at all. I think he hoped for only 4 or 5 Hellions and maybe a split second of Hades not paying attention. And on that moment you can get the wraparound, and then the amount of Lings would have been good enough. But since Hades was paying attention, I'm very worried here for a young, ambitious, aspiring Spanish Zerg. He's in a lot of trouble.
You used only nice words.
He's a nice guy. No, it's just a rough series for him so far. I mean, Cloak actually did finish up. He went for the Banshee after the Viking. So the Spores were not for nothing. Does get the kill this time, only ending up losing 2 drones. What are these? What is this? Does he have a wall over here? I guess he finished a depot or something. That makes sense. I still don't like this that much, I thought. He produced a crazy amount of Zerglings. He lost 21 of them. Yeah. And all those drones that he has right now, he could have had them 2-3, well, not 2 minutes, but he could have had them a minute faster.
Yeah, he could have had way more drones by now, already be on his ideal counts, and like looking to saturate his 4th base way quicker than he's going to be able to now. Hydra then this time around to complement the roaches that he's going to be going for. So definitely looking to try and fix his composition as opposed to the previous game, where those tier 2, tier 3 units came in super late, and SouLeer ended up dying before he could reach any of those properly. Swarmos just weren't enough.
Yeah, it's also because of the way he used the Swarmos. I felt that he had enough Swarmos, but I didn't like the way that he popped a couple of Locusts at a time, because that gave the mech army just enough firepower to deal with the Locust, and at best lose 1 or 2 Hellbats, but no more than that. I actually think that this was a scenario where popping the majority of them, if not all of them at once, was better than splitting it into 3 waves. I know there are some scenarios where you kind of want to send a couple at a time, but this wasn't the moment, because the tanks were not sieged up, so there wasn't any friendly fire whatsoever. It really would have been better to keep all the Locusts at once.
Hades' defense is rock solid though. I like the way he builds his base. He's got a wall off at the natural, at the 3rd base as well, a little bit of a wall off.
Look at this port Viking.
Pretty insane though that he doesn't go for a single turret. Like you would think, you have to be scared of roaches with Thundering Claws, right? If they unburrow simultaneously in all of your mineral lines here, you would take quite a bit of damage.
Or a quick Muta transition. I mean, we've seen Petak. Do you think that Beyond saw it coming, Todd? No, he didn't.
Thor, I guess he's got Thors, but they aren't exactly the fastest. And on a map like this, you can fly from one base to another very quickly.
Blue Flame is not done yet, but a couple of Hellions should still be able to do a little bit of damage. All those drones are lined up. Wow, that's pretty much an entire mineral line gone. A couple of drones do survive, but I mean, that's 12 dread. Okay, he saves 1.
Already having some barbecue even before qualifying for Texas, man. What's up?
Texas barbecue, I'm already excited. Why would you do that to me, Todd? Now I have to settle for a kebab tonight. You give me the idea of
a Cologne kebab, no less.
Against some Texas barbecue. Life's not fair. So it seems like he wants to get some damage done. We're morphing 8 Banelings now on the north side of the map. Hades picks up on it immediately, forcing SouLeer to cancel it. Now at least these Hellions are in position, but with this planetary 70% done, this Roach Hydra 4, I don't think it's going to be enough though. There's a Banshee in the mix, there's 2 Taurs as well, and if this planetary finishes up, I don't see any way that this Zerg attack is going to be successful.
Yeah, it's about to finish. SouLeer still trading against these mech forces there. Gets a few tanks, but he's forced back for now. Still ahead in supply, but with the Terran about to be on 4 bases against the Zerg on 4 bases, and all the upgrades that Hades is getting, you have to think he's in a fantastic position. The Vipers, though, are going to have to be the saving grace. Starport's being added on. So from the moment Terran is on 4 bases and he's on 8 gases, that's the time where you have enough gas income to go into those air units. Usually can be a bunch of Ravens, which these days look incredibly strong. I would trade High Templars for Ravens any day.
These other turrets are nothing to scoff at, that's for sure. And Yeah, I'm very worried for a Spanish Zerg though. The upgrades, he does have 2-2 finishing up soon, but a Macking Terran being able to go up to 4 bases that fast while really not taking any economic damage, and if anything, still finding a couple of openings, not as many as last game, but you know, 20 drones have gone down, 4 more just went down to those 2 Hellions. 2 more Hellions gonna try to find something in the natural. And these are Blue Flame Hellions thought, so just a single queen, that's not gonna be enough damage.
The army supply though is quite scary. 120 for SouLeer against 76 for Hades, but again, like those tanks, they are spaced out enough that no big blinding cloud should land. If it were to land though, it could be in big trouble. The planetary fortress complements this army very well, and unless SouLeer attacks now and somehow trades super well and then keeps on swarming forward, I don't see Hades being in a lot of trouble, especially since, like, I mean, every single, I guess, minute that passes by, he's catching up in supply, and he's evening those numbers, and his army eventually is going to be way scarier here than of the Zergs.
Getting them upgrades as well for
he's
the
buying
Ravens.
time as well with these aliens. Like, this is super smart, because these defensively are not great, but if he can keep the Zerg army across the map for longer and match these numbers.
The natural is a little bit exposed though. This is actually a pretty good move, as Hades has not spotted this massive Zerg army. If you can just abduct this tank from the high ground, pick it up, then go through the rocks, that could maybe be a way to claw your way back into this game. But look at these other turrets. One Raven does go down immediately. Excuse me, one Viper as well, both of them actually at the same time.
Ghost out there now though, ready to EMP and snipe.
Damn, look at Hades harassing. He's just sending Hellions around the map left and right, trying to find some openings. I'm not sure if you can go here. There's multiple missile turrets, which make it so hard for the Vipers to get the abducts.
Run away, guys. They took so much damage. Dear Lord. Recalibrated explosives about to finish. And Hades in a great position. Even like that one base below is natural. He can secure that super easily, like with the position that it's in.
Yep.
Why is he still making depot? I guess for a wall-off?
Yeah.
At his fourth base?
It's just making it harder and harder. He just wants to take it slow and steady. I mean, if Avilo's watching this game, he'd be proud, man, because Hades is making this work.
No. Avilo's never proud.
Oh, he would be proud. This is a very solid performance from this Macking Terran. And you said it.
Not making enough Vipers. You could have killed him already.
He's going to get his 5th base up and running here. And like you said, the moment you secure your 4th here on Abyss, so it's very easy with tanks on the high ground and this being so incredibly rock solid to secure your 5th base as well. And what are you going to do about it if your name is SouLeer, Todd? I have no idea. He's getting double Spire. Some Broodlords maybe, but there's already all the starports. There's Gulls, there's a couple Tors in the mix as well.
Maybe he can just try to counterattack and base trade up until the point he reaches Broodlords. That's also another thing.
Oh, that's kind of an old trick, SouLeer.
That one doesn't work anymore.
That only worked in the 90s. No, we're just kidding, of course. It would be a very unfortunate moment. But fortunately enough, we do have resumed from replay these days. I mean, you could say like, this is kind of a close game because both are maxed out, but I really like Hades' position so much more. That Terran army is just getting stronger and stronger, and it's going to be incredibly difficult for SouLeer to somehow get a favorable engagement and get the victory here. So we'll just wait and see. It's unfortunate, Todd. Yesterday we didn't have a single disconnect. I mean, some bad luck, Charm, mate.
Thanks.
No. It happens. It's unfortunate. Hopefully we can just resume the game as quickly as possible. As unfortunately SouLeer did disconnect, so...
He was on 201 supply. Was he going to do the trick to get more?
Maybe.
Could be smart.
Do like 20 spores at once, try to break the world. What is the highest amount of supply you've ever seen in a game? Like 228?
Maybe a bit more.
Oh, really?
I think there were times where like Snoots did crazy numbers and crazy stuff with this.
I think Dimaga in a very long time ago, I saw Dimaga once at least go to like 228 or even 232. And if you're new to StarCraft and you wonder how's that possible, you can obviously use like 25 or 30 of your drones to temporarily morph them into evolution chambers or spore crawlers. And while they are morphing, you build a crazy amount of units and then you cancel all of them. And that's the moment that your supply will spike way above 200. It can